Wait, what's the stop button?
Should I do like a super bro opening where it's like, welcome back to Smash Brothers Pod?
If you want.
I mean, that's going to be what it is this week, right? It's just, there's no chance episode 134 of We Were Gamers. Welcome back. Michael's here.
Hey, friends.
JJ is not here. Mystery. Woo! But I know he's having a good time. I saw some photographs.
We wish him well.
We wish Godspeed. This is Smash Week, and because it's Smash Week, Ryan's here.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Was that code for JJ's off playing Smash?
JJ might be off playing Smash.
He did mention to us that where he is, he did not take his Switch.
That was a mistake.
I thought about it, and while I think it's a mistake at the beginning because Smash is here, at the end it's probably not a mistake. More mystery. Okay, well, we've alluded to it. Smash Brothers has hit the market, and there's really nothing else to talk about, right, Michael?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Michael doesn't own a Switch. That's an inside joke for those of you that don't remember. I do have a follow-up from last week. A very good friend of the pod, Ken, got me on the phone to let me know that everything we said about Evangelion was wrong.
Thanks, Ken. Always count on you.
I'm throwing Ken under the bus. No, he clarified for me the two things I didn't know, which was that they didn't get licensing because it got too expensive.
Okay.
And the licensing was too expensive because there have been 3 cuts of that show, I guess, and 2 separate ADRs. So they've rolled all the costs for that into it. So they can't loan it out for cheap, you know?
That makes sense.
Unfortunately for all of us that kind of like that show, the new dub is the new dub is what's going to be on Netflix, not the original Toonami.
Oh, well. I mean, at least we get something, right?
True. Before we get into Smash, Michael.
So
you want to jump in?
Yeah, I finished Oceanhorn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was good. It was, I think it took me somewhere between 15 and 16 hours total to, complete everything.
So Zelda light.
Yeah, Zelda very light. The game on the whole was good. The ending is super anticlimactic.
What does that mean? I mean, should we just do a spoil? Ryan, do you care about spoilers for Oceanhorn?
Totally. No, go ahead.
Spoiler warning.
You get to the last island and you make your way through to the boss room, and on the way you pick up a flute that your father had been carrying with him in the opening cinematic of the game.
Oh my, the heartstrings are pulled immediately.
Yep. So you get into the final battle and you actually find your father alive, so good news there. They did not kill him off as part of the story.
You know?
Yeah, it was a nice departure from the Zelda, oh, your uncle's dead.
Or you're basically, an orphan every time, right?
Yeah. But you get into the last boss fight, and you like all good Zelda-type games, you figure out the gimmick, right? The mechanic for how to bring him down and expose the core so you can start attacking it. And you attack the core of the giant robot, and then the main villain comes out and takes back over the robot, and its health resets to 100. And you do that a couple of times and then figure out, okay, there's got to be something else going on here. What am I missing?
Yeah, what's the trick?
Right. So you pull out the flute that you got at the beginning of the island that your dad dropped, and you play the flute and the fight ends. You win.
Okay. It's one of those story type games. Got it.
Yeah. It literally works like that.
Okay.
It's one of those fights that's, how quick will you realize that this is the trick?
I should mention at the beginning of this pod, but this house is on like Defcon 3 for illness. I don't know if that's like the medium, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Medium Defcons. We're all coughing. up a storm over here, so I apologize. I'm not going to be able to cut all that out. Brothers and a couple other games kind of end with I guess with like a whimper in terms of controls and like, ooh, it's not a huge fight sequence or something like that. But did they land? Did they stick the landing on the story ending there? Because that's really the whole point, right?
Yeah, they tied off the story well. Between you get pieces of the story filled in for you as you go along, and they tie it off pretty neatly at the end. So it didn't feel, the ending didn't feel like a cop out, even though the fight felt a little bit like a cop out.
You don't feel like you wasted 16 hours.
No, not at all. I had fun playing through the rest of the game for sure.
All right, we did it in 8 minutes. So, Ryan, Michael, and I are going to sign off, and you've got an hour and 22 minutes for Smash.
Oh, all right, okay. Where should I start?
We should start with the fact that you have been pining for this game all year, maybe more than a year, 2 years.
Oh, I mean, I was pining this game. Well, no, I mean, it got announced in March, which is the crazy part. But I was pining for a real Smash game because Smash 4 really didn't.
Right,
do it.
and I think that was a real common sentiment from people after the last game was that, hey, this felt kind of just like a reskinning. When are we going to get a real new game?
Well, Smash 4 had all the issues where, like, the Wii U version was, hamstrung by the fact it was on a bad console, and combined with the fact it had the parallel development with the 3DS version. So, like, it was completely, like, Ice Climbers got cut because the 3DS couldn't have it, and they wanted the systems to be the same.
Yep.
So, I was going to ask you, and maybe we can elaborate on it now. As a layperson, I look at this, and though I know there are a ton more fighters in this than Smash 4, which I also booted up twice on my Wii U and stared at, and then didn't play really that much at all. It still seems to have, it has much more, and we're going to get into this, but it still seems to have started in the same area as 4. It's not a reskin, but it definitely feels like they share DNA.
Well, I think this game shares a lot with most of the games, which is, it really is, pun intended, the ultimate version.
Okay.
But it's the play style and the mechanics, like, it looks... it looks nice, which Smash 4 looks nice also. So the graphics look similar, even though the Switch version is like immensely better. So I see where it's easy to draw the comparisons, but the fundamental mechanics and play style of the game are significantly different than Smash 4.
And without getting too technical, what's the one thing that stands out to you technically that made it so different?
The pace of battle.
Much quicker or slower?
Quicker.
Okay, good, because I don't feel bad then, that I'm like way behind the computer on a lot of things.
The AI has gotten a lot better over the year.
No kidding.
The AI is serious business in this game.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. Michael, you not a huge Smasher, right?
Well, I had the original, which I, played into the ground like all teenagers did when the 64 version came out. And I have the Wii U version, which did not get a whole lot of play, for, reasons we have gone into before, and just recapped a little bit. But I have not been really into Smash in a while.
My expectations were high, but having not played any significant amount of time of Smash since GameCube, I think my expectations were also tempered a bit, and I didn't inundate myself in the news of it every day, so everything's kind of a surprise, right? Like as I'm exploring the modes and all that sort of stuff, and my initial impression of the game, and I want to hear yours too, buddy, because you were the opposite and drowned yourself in news.
Yes.
I am impressed every time I find out something else. Find something I haven't done, find something little, like these tiny little choices they made about where to put shops and things like that. All those things impressed me. I didn't think I didn't think this game was going to interrupt my game flow. Like, I was going to continue playing Mario and Rabbids. Man. And now I can't think about anything else.
Well, I think the funny part is what you're talking about for content in the game is I'm pretty sure you're talking exclusively one mode in the game, too, is what's the content that's impressive.
Yeah, so we didn't really talk about that yet, but we kind of split up at the beginning, and you played Classic, and I played...
Yeah.
In playing the game and experiencing the actual physical fighting of the game, Ryan and I kind of actually split up initially, and then we'll get into how much better he is at Smash than me and faster. The game into like parts to kind of like try it out, the different modes.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, I'm shocked at playing half the game, how good it is, but also menuing and things like that. But I would not be surprised if this game sells Switches and like gangbusters. But what's your impressions overall before we start getting into the nitty gritty of it? With having swam in the news for a year and then getting it in your hands.
I am a big... Smash is like my favorite fighting game, so multiplayer aspect of it. And I am probably a solid 30 hours into playtime already, and I haven't touched online on my console yet. So it blows me away at the amount of like enjoyable single-player content that there is in the game.
Where you're literally, you know, there's not much else to do when you boil it down than to battle the AI, right, Michael? Like everything.
Yeah. If you're not playing the online matches, then that's about what you've got.
That's how good the AI is in this game, is that it can put up a fight for 30 hours and you're not bored. You haven't found the tricks like, oh, okay, well, the AI is done with every character. If you just stand on the edge, it just keeps trying to roll into you and then you kill it. Like, no. Some characters sometimes can't get away from you, but a lot of them can, and the AI knows how to, and it's crazy.
And it's not just that, it's how enjoyable like the references they make in the game are.
Oh yes, we're gonna get to that too. Oh my gosh.
Yes. I mean, I started off, and for whatever reason, I decided my path to unlock every single character was to play Classic mode. So I have beaten Classic mode with all 74 characters already.
I was going to say, what is your unlock count all the way up?
Oh yeah, I've gotten them all, and it's much longer if you do it directly in the story mode.
Sure.
But it took a long time doing it in just Classic. But you know, before Classic mode was always like the same thing with every character. But this time now, it's every character has a different path, and it's like a set theme. So the most obvious one that I can think of that makes it enjoyable and different, and a lot of the characters end up having the same last boss.
Sure.
But there is a variety in what they get, so there's a little bit of repetition. But Mega Man's Classic mode is just hilarious references where you start off and you go through fights with different characters that are like colored like different robot masters.
Okay.
And then everyone's Classic mode has this set story where you have like 5 fights, then like an intermission race to the finish, and then a boss fight. But Mega Man gets his race to the finish like in the middle, and it's supposed to be the Wily Castle of it. And then you go through, and then you get a boss fight against all the other bosses you fought before. So it's like the Robot Master refight. And then the last boss is Dr. Mario. It's supposed to be like Dr. Wily. And then when you kill him, Mewtwo pops out. And it's the most obscure Mega Man 2 reference when you beat Dr. Wily and he becomes an alien. And it's just hilarious that they have these little references in there.
Yeah, it's really good.
I heard that the Ryu one was really good too.
Oh my god, yeah.
Street Fighter.
The Ryu is all stamina battles, 1v1 against different characters. Like you first is Zero Suit Samus, who's got the Chun-Li theme going on. And then you got like Incineroar as Zangief. It's hilarious.
And that touches on just the standard Classic mode, like the advancement of the Classic mode that has been there for years, you know? Like they took that much time and effort to change just that mode, and that's half the game. I mean, but So you did all 74 characters through that mode?
Yep. Took some time.
Yeah. Did you, at any point, 40 characters in, get bored of it?
I actually, the only time I got bored was probably when I was at like the 60 character plus mark, just because there was a string of so many characters that had the same last boss in a row. Because I literally went in order.
Okay.
But it was when, like, whenever you get like the different bosses, like the Rathlos or the Draculas, that's when it's really fun, when it's something different.
Yeah. There's definitely Kirby had.
Oh, I saw this one. Marks.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That was, I mean, the Sakurai bias with a Kirby character, right? But it was still awesome. There just was someone different.
Yeah. Yep. And then
who I saw.
Link had Ganon.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we fight Ganondorf, and then he goes into Ganon from Ocarina of Time. And it's literally at the Broken Castle on Ocarina of Time. It's amazing.
That's fantastic.
We'd be well served. I don't know if you have your Switch nearby, just sort of pounding through the game a little bit, because one of the things I noticed is that it's not set up like most video games, right? You don't get like a title screen and then like a load and then everything's laid out for you and menus inside the game, right? It's more like a top-down wheel of things to do, and each menu has like 3 layers to it. It gets really complex.
I don't know if you remember the Smash 4 on the Wii U menu, but anything is a remarkable improvement from that menu.
Oh, that was just like they threw buttons on the wall to see what stuck where.
It was not good. And then maybe we'll round it out at the end with talking about spirits and classic and adventure mode, because that's the most complicated, crazy part of this entire thing.
Oh yeah, and don't worry, I've got a mild, semi-spoilery bomb to drop on you at some point.
Okay, I'm into it. And most of my time was spent there, so that's the most questions I'm going to have for you too, obviously. Oh, okay, so I booted up my Switch to try and get to the menu, and I exited out of adventure mode to try and get back to the main menu, and
I hope you saved.
What?
Oh, you just been exiting? You haven't? Okay, that's cool. If it's been working for you, I've been saving, like hard saving.
I now have to fight Ike here for a second, so give me 1 minute.
Okay, so we're going to lose Andy for a minute. So,
you may. So yeah, so there was a way to, like, the fastest way to unlock characters is I think it's set on like a 10-minute hard timer, where if you just do battles and every 10 minutes you'll unlock a new one. But I think you can actually technically bypass the timer for anyone listening at home that wants to do it faster by resetting the system.
You can.
So if you've done enough to get another character, you can reset and get another fight right away.
I think what I read was that to make that work, you need to change the language.
Well, the only reason that's there is because the GameCube controllers still don't have a home button on them.
Oh, okay.
So you can't bring up the Switch home menu. So the only way to force restart the system in the menu is to change language.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
That's the workaround. Yeah. Or you could do the hard way, just do classic mode with everyone.
Yeah. So you've unlocked all of the characters at this point. Who are your favorite fighters?
Okay, so
well, that was easy.
Of course, this was how it's going to be. Is my favorite fighter is the character who killed all of the hype at the end of the game for me, and I didn't want and wasn't noticeable or important to me in the game he was in, but it's Incineroar, hands down.
Really?
Okay.
I have beaten Ike, by the way, so I am back.
Well done.
Congratulations. Incineroar is just the biggest goofball character, and his just moveset's so funny. Every time he hits someone, he does like a wrestling pose to celebrate. It's ridiculous and amazing.
Incineroar is responsible for one of the battles I want to talk to you about.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not fun. Okay, cool. So, Michael, unfortunately, I don't have like a way for you to... Maybe you can look up the main menu. Top left is Smash. I haven't even opened this menu.
I had a chance to play with some of my brothers over the weekend, so I have actually played multiplayer and used that menu. Which I know is funny.
That's for just local multiplayer. Is that for online too?
No, it's just local.
Okay, so I don't need that menu, is what you're saying.
You'll eventually have people over to play, right? It'll work.
We'll see. Yeah. Well, so in there, is there any fun stuff? I mean, I'm looking at Smash, Squad Strike, Tourney, Special Smash.
Squad Strike is really cool. That's the new mode they added where you set it up and you do either a 3v3 or a 5v5 battle, but using like the same, against the same person. But you select a character order and you select 3 to 5 characters, and each character represents a different stock for you.
It's like a Marvel versus Capcom kind of?
No switching in between, but similar, yeah.
Yeah, I read
So like once Ike dies, you switch to, Ganondorf.
Interesting choices.
And your order is hidden from your opponent, right?
Yeah, it has like, put in like a wheel input to which direction you want to set people to the order.
Oh.
So you can do it hidden.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, it's a cool mode. And then the other cool mode they have in there is Smashdown.
Special Smash?
Yeah, I think it may be under there.
Oh yeah, Smashdown.
It takes time.
Custom Smash,
yeah,
Smashdown.
So you take turns, or you do battles in order. You just constant, 1v1 or whatever, 4v4, whatever battle mode you do. But every time you finish a battle, you pick a new character, and you can't pick the same character again.
As your character.
As your character, or once a character is picked between you or your opponents, that character's locked out for the rest of the Smashdown run.
And then total wins. Nice.
Yeah. So it's a fun mode where it's just kind of breaking down. You have to be good with many people, and you can snipe people's, second best character and stuff like that.
All right. That menu doesn't go super deep. So up top right, games and more. We got classic mode, which we talked a bit about. We didn't talk about the difficulty slider situation. What are your thoughts on that? Because Michael, you don't just pick if you want it to be easy, medium, or hard at the beginning.
Okay.
You pick how hard you want it to be to start the game, and then the game kind of takes your performance each round and moves the difficulty up or down on you.
Okay.
It will, unless you are forced to continue, it always goes up.
I was forced to continue, so it went down. You can use tickets or gold. I guess you get tickets from gold or something.
You can buy them in the shop, and you get some from doing other classic modes as like rewards and stuff. But the tickets make it so when you have to continue, you don't lose your score progress.
Right. Gold makes you lose some of your progress. Yeah.
Yeah. And can we talk about the fact that they have that amazing classic mural? I mean, you maybe haven't gotten to see it all yet, but like expands all the way out to when you get to 9.9.
I'll have you know,
like
I ended on 7.7, sir.
Maybe you saw the end of some of it.
I can see the tail end of it.
But like that artwork is amazing, and they didn't advertise it anywhere. They just had it hidden in the game, like just waiting to be seen.
I want this to plaster a wall of my house with.
Yes, it's amazing. I thought the "Everyone Is Here" little mural was awesome, but that is just amazing.
Like a hand drawn, beautiful, like something you'd see in a church. Of Nintendo.
It's good.
It's awesome that they just sort of threw that in there for players to find.
But that's the thing, Michael. It's like all over the place. There's tons of little they just threw that in there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Training, mob smash, which is just kill a bunch of dudes. I think.
Yeah, it's all the modes they used to have in other games. They like lumped All-Star mode into that now. But it's all of the, like Cruel Melee and 100-Man Smash type stuff that they've had in previous games.
Yep. They bring back the Wii U and maybe even Wii Mii Fighters.
Yep, I knew they were going to be back.
So you can, using gold that you earn in the game, you can buy outfits. We'll talk about that when we get to the store. And then they have...
Or you can pre-order the Fighter Pass and cry in Xenoblade 2 with your Rex outfit.
Yeah. Why are we crying?
Because that means Rex isn't going to be in.
Oh, because they gave him a Mii Fighter's outfit? That's not true. I have a Luigi hat, I think.
That's true, but I'm pretty sure it's the death bell for Rex.
Oh, it's very likely. I don't see it happening. We'll talk DLC too. We got to talk... Oh my god. It's this is...
Never saw it coming.
I know, right? Then the last thing in this menu is Amiibo. So I want to take a pause here and we'll talk about FPs and spirits and all that for a second. If you tap one of the people that is a Smash fighter, you get a extra fighter?
Yeah, it's the same thing they had in the 3DS and Wii U version.
Which
where you tap the amiibo. Only now it's like any amiibo, not just specifically the Smash
Well,
line.
you can tap any amiibo, but you don't get an FP for every amiibo. So I tapped my Midna and Wolf Link amiibo, and I was given a Midna Spirit.
Oh, okay, it's probably because it's not actually Link,
right,
I guess.
Right, because it's not a fighter.
Yeah.
So an FP, then, Michael, is like a computerized extra fighter that sits on your roster, I think.
Okay.
You can just drop it in with you when you play against stuff, I think.
Or you can make it fight on its own and learn stuff.
Yeah, and it levels up to like level 99 or 50 or some cap, and supposedly the AI learns from losing, so you can like kick its butt yourself, but teach it your fighting style type thing.
Yeah, that's a carryover. The Wii U version did that supposedly too.
So I think they also carried over this AI learning into the game, because there have definitely been some fights I have lost.
From what I heard, there was a handful of top Japanese players that apparently signed contracts, so now they're not allowed to play competitive Smash.
Whoa. But
they worked hand in hand with development of the game, and I think it shows in a lot of the mechanics and the AI. I don't want to get too technical in Smash stuff, but I don't know if you've noticed when you hit a fighter or hit an AI into a wall really hard and they just float there. That's called teching, and the AI techs like it's just common day practice. It's very hard to do in an actual game, but they do it like crazy on every hit you do against them now.
Yeah. Or if you lose a fight, and let's say you opened up with a drill or some other item because you added an item to yourself before the game, the computer knows it's coming, and so the first time you might hit him with it at the opening of the game, but the second time, if you lost, they automatically are jumping out of the way.
Okay.
So you can't do the same strategies very quick. The AI seems to learn very quickly each battle.
Fool me once.
Right. The teching thing I had not heard, but would not surprise me. The AI is much, much better than it used to be.
Oh yeah, the AI are doing, like, especially level 9 computers are doing extreme combos that you'd see actual players doing.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's scary.
There's actually a hidden thing that Ryan will never have discovered in this menu that I was just talking about. The Games and More menu. If you lose to a challenger approaches...
Oh no, I found that. See, the problem is when you're doing classic mode with all 74 characters, you're bound to find a character or two you're not good at. And so when you have to use them against the level 9 computer to unlock the character, you get some tough fights.
Well, I lose some fights once in a while, and there's a hidden doorway at the bottom right of this menu that shows up randomly, and the fighters you've lost to show back up again in there. So,
yeah, but as
the interesting thing is, it's actually the doorway from Subspace Emissary, where you'd fight the unlockable characters in there.
That's a deep reference there, man. Vault is the next thing from the main menu that you get into, where you can get in and get into your replays that you save. You can play all the music in the game. It's got your records like stats or milestones, which are like achievements. Like it keeps track of when you get new fighters and things like that. Your battle information, your opponents online, your smash tags. Explain smash tags for a second.
It's when you're battling online and you beat someone, you get their like gamer tag basically.
Yeah, which are like custom designed.
So you keep all those there, and I think you can like turn some in for gold and stuff in game.
Likely. Challenges, which is the murals, I guess.
They have those. Yeah, they have those in all of the Smash games. They're just set up slightly differently now, like by category. But that's just do X in the game and you unlock.
And then
Y.
there's a little hammer down there, which I assume is so you can unlock stuff that if you're not good enough to do it.
Yeah, for the hard ones.
Which you get.
I remember the hammer from Smash 4.
Yeah. Same
I have not
concept.
used my hammer yet, but it will probably come into play at some point. And then in here is also the shop, which is not a shop for money, it's a shop for gold. I haven't found a way to buy gold other than just playing the game.
Yeah, I got a lot through classic mode.
I've gotten a decent amount through adventure mode as well. I don't know how to unlock the last 3 slots in here, but there are 10 slots total.
Just spend money. the more gold you spend, the more
okay,
slots
so it's the
open
same
up.
as the spirit board then. Got it. Don't buy stuff unless it's a Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I've been buying every single song that shows up and like me costumes.
Oh, interesting. Because you think there are so many, it just kind of doesn't matter?
Yeah, well, the shop resets, I think it's like every 10 matches you do. Something like that. So I've just been buying songs like crazy because there's so many in the game.
And then there's a space for presents from special events. Online gets you into your Smash or settings for Smash. Or, Michael, there's a spectate mode.
Okay, so you can just watch, I'm assuming, online matches?
Yeah, I think it just sets you up with a random match
that
online.
was what I wanted to talk about. Why can I not spectate my friends?
Okay, look, I'm going to be honest about you. My knowledge on this subject is extremely limited because I still haven't bought Nintendo Online yet.
It's definitely, I clicked it and it is just setting me up into a random battle here. So I'm just going to back out of that.
I think you can... I know you can make custom rooms now for like battling with friends.
Don't you have to do that through the phone app?
No. You can make like a lobby basically.
Okay.
For like a custom lobby, and I think you can set a password. But yeah, you have to like communicate with your friends what the password is, and they have to like arduously find your lobby because you can't directly invite people to it. But I think there is a spectate in there. So, but it's just your friend would have to be in that mode, and you'd have to know it, and then spectate them through that.
Let's go to the eShop and talk about. Well, you need to register the game before January to get the Piranha Plant.
Yep. At least that was, if you bought the physical edition, it was pretty easy to do.
And that's really easy to do from the main menu. That's right, from the main Switch menu. How many of us watched the Game Awards and saw live the huge announcement about the first fighter in the Fighter Pass?
I was in the Best Buy parking lot waiting for my 9 p.m. pickup of my Smash copy when I saw it.
I think that caught a lot of people by surprise. I saw the replay of it. I didn't see it live.
I don't know. That's weird. I guess Persona has a big enough following that that's their strongest one, but it feels weird that that would be their strongest one, right? To sell this fighter pass because they want you to pay $25 for 5 fighters and stages.
Yeah, I think that's worth it.
Of course, you think it's worth it.
Well, you also have
in
to
a heartbeat.
You have to look at who's not in the game yet, right?
Yeah, that's you're grasping at straws basically for any new Nintendo
Yeah,
character.
who can we get that's a big enough name that people are going to want to add them to the roster, but isn't already in the game?
Well, we have no Final Fantasy characters.
Cloud.
Oh, Cloud. Okay, right. So we could add Squall or Titus or Yuna or.
I honestly think if another Final Fantasy character is coming, it's going to be Sephiroth or Noctis. Like it's got to be either iconic or new.
Yeah.
Here's my pipe dream.
Oh, I like pop.
Are you ready for this one?
Is it a green pipe dream?
Yeah.
Is it Steve?
No, it wasn't. But that's a really good one.
Is it Fortnite guy?
No. Oh my God, no! Please. I want my money back. Quietly behind the scenes, Square and Nintendo have put together a Switch compilation called Kingdom Hearts: The Story for Switch, and we get a whole pack of this stuff, and then next year at some point we get Kingdom Hearts 3, and then the final fighter comes out and it happens to just be Sora, maybe.
I have some slight good news for you on your speculation, at least, because I think if that's your big wish, you don't have to wait long to find out, because I think that'd have to be announced in January to coincide with the launch.
You think so?
Yeah, but I think Square's going to have another character, but I think it's going to be something more. I think it's going to be another Final Fantasy character or something like Slime to represent Dragon Quest.
Slime isn't even an assist trophy.
I mean, it could be one of the main Dragon Quest characters or something, but I think that's more likely.
Bummer. Seems like a Japan thing.
I honestly thought Sora was going to be announced at the Game Awards, But after the Joker announcement, I kind of think it kills Sora's chances.
You think so, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about that because Persona the series is not really out there on Nintendo, right? That's like been a Sony thing. So
well, they had like, some random offshoot 3DS games.
And so did Kingdom Hearts.
Right. No, I mean, I think it would make sense. But didn't Sora just got announced for some like Final Fantasy-esque fighting game type thing?
Well, they've always had, what is that name of their Final Fantasy fighting game? They've done 2 installments of it, and it's
right.
bad.
I know what you're talking about.
Nobody likes it, right? I don't know. Okay, well, $25 for 5 fighters seems steep, but with the Joker announcement that seemed to have caught a lot of people by surprise, you're into it.
Oh, I'm way into it. Did you not see that the Persona 5 Amazon sales shot up like 40% after that announcement?
No.
Wow.
Did they really?
Yes.
Because people want to play the game and understand who he is because they love Smash that much?
Yeah, I guess so, man. It's just like you want your character in Smash.
Wow.
So there you go, Nintendo. There's your license to print money.
Well, you want to sell sell your Kingdom Hearts licensing that you just paid a bunch of money for. Sora's got to be in Smash.
Don't get me wrong. I think that makes a ton of sense. Here's my crazy speculation,
right.
Okay? Nintendo has been working behind the scenes, and this wraps into something big, right? You can't have a Nintendo 64 Classic, which we all know is coming, right? There's no doubt in anyone's mind that that's a thing. But you can't have a Nintendo 64 Classic without games like Perfect Dark, Diddy Kong Racing, and more specifically, Banjo-Kazooie. Right, I'm telling you. So those games are required on an N64 Classic.
So you think Banjo?
Like it's not classic without that. So that means Nintendo's working with Microsoft to get the licensing for the old Rare games. What better way to sweeten the deal than throw Banjo-Kazooie in to Smash Brothers?
They could probably buy all the licensing for those Rare games real easy. I'm just saying. There's not a lot of people clamoring.
That's my crazy theory.
Really? Perfect Dark is your theory?
Yep.
For a game, for a character?
No, Banjo, man.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
All right. That'd be like calling out Bond and being like, Bond's going to be in the game.
Did you never see the original like character request poll from Japan for before Melee came out? James Bond was one of like the top 5 requested characters back in the day.
See, I would put that ahead of
people love their GoldenEye still.
Well, they got Snake instead, and wow, that rocket launcher.
Oh, it's so fast.
It's so fast. All right, so we've got Sora and Banjo, and Michael, if you had to pick a character, you might hit one of the 74 that's already in there. We know you don't have a Switch. That's okay. What's your go-to?
Someone who I would want to see in there.
Yeah.
You were talking about working behind the scenes with Squeenix. I'm gonna do a throwback and say put Chrono in the game.
That'd be good.
Okay. Safe pull. I like it. I think I've delayed as long as we possibly can. Now we get to bore somebody to tears describing the spirit system of this game.
Yeah, so I've heard a little bits and pieces about it, but I don't think I've gotten a real good comprehensive explanation of what the spirit system is. So lay it down.
The spirit system is in the game only to serve the best new addition to Smash since Smash, which is the adventure mode.
Okay.
So they added in what blows me away about this is they took a game that was a proven formula, Smash, right? They took that game and they said, let's make it 2 games and then sell it for the price of 1 game. Because up till now, this didn't exist, really. I mean, there was an adventure mode before, but what was it before, Ryan? It was kind of like the old Soul Calibur, like just walk along a map thing.
Well, the Subspace Emissary mode in Brawl was like massive.
Yeah, it still wasn't this good.
But it was repetitive, and so it definitely wasn't as good. But the charm of Subspace Emissary was all of the cutscenes with the characters interacting with each other.
Yeah, that's kind of lost here. But they took what is essentially a gigantic map with a ton of spots on it and filled up the spots with fights you have to do. And instead of making you just run around, which is in a map version of a classic mode, and doing all the fights, they kind of created this story about, all the fighters get abducted in that video, with a World of Light video that went around for a while, which is much longer in the game and way funnier as you watch 70 fighters get consumed by light and then Kirby turn into a star and decide he's just out of there. So to keep it fresh and interesting and all that, you're going to have to fight the same guys over and over again. When Mario's in the game and he's 7 or 8 fights before you get him freed, and then you don't have to fight him anymore. How is that interesting? Well, they put in these spirits, these other characters that are supposedly controlling them and have attributes that make the fights kind of special. And maybe you could take it from here, Ryan, describing what they kind of did with the spirits system.
Right. So fundamentally, the spirits are just like what you use to enhance like your characters. Like, I don't know if you remember in Brawl with like the stickers that you'd put on the bottom of your trophy that gave you like different stats.
Okay.
They're fundamentally the similar thing. You have a primary spirits, and then primary spirits have secondary slots on them where you can equip other spirits that give you like more stamina in stamina mode, like random little effects.
So they're materia.
And some,
okay.
Yeah, and some are bigger than others. But so there's a spirit mode where it's just you challenge different spirits and you fight them in the battle and you win their spirit at the end. And so you can use it in the mode.
The spirit board you're talking about?
Yeah, the spirit board.
Looks like a bounty board, Michael, and it starts out with 4 bounties at a time. They come out and they're limited in time. You have to do them really fast.
Okay.
And then after that, you get the what is it? That's not Final Destination. The little laser thing you had to do at the end of one of those levels. What's the level that it happens after?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
So to free the spirit, you have to like shoot inside the little circle and make sure you hit it or whatever.
Okay.
And of course, you can slow it down with items that you earn in the game or whatever. That's the spirit board. So if you just wanted to not do adventure mode and try and just fight the spirits without doing the adventure, you could do that.
Yeah, but then they have the adventure mode where the stories, all the characters get dusted by the light, and then they get cloned and like make these like fake bodies of them, and then all of these spirits from different games possess
1,300 of them.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
So for me, my favorite reference that I found so far, I think, is that you had to fight Metal Gear Ray, the little ones that hop around,
right?
From Metal Gear Solid 4, and so the fight was a Greninja who was metal that you had to fight.
Yeah, they changed,
and it was just like it was the most ridiculous thing ever.
They changed the characters up quite a bit. They're all very different, and they change the stage. Sometimes the stage has weather or fog,
but they're all enigmatic to the fight. So if it's like it plays music from like most likely from the character's fight, who's supposed to be the possessing spirit. They'll have like different status changes and effects that is something that character would have, or they're fought alongside with like another character that'd be in their game.
Or changes with the AI attacks with, like, I fought one that was possessed by a Goron spirit, so all he did was roll around.
And the funny thing to me is, fundamentally, is you're just going around on this game board, and you're going spirit battle to spirit battle. All it really is the challenge, the event battle mode from previous Smash games, where you had like some strange constructs on you, where you had to like beat them on this difficulty with this thing going on. It's kind of like that, just on a board. But it's just immensely so much more fun.
Well, and it's ridiculous when you come across, because I haven't looked up, there's 1,300 of these things, so I haven't looked up what ones are in the game. But you'll be wandering along, and Kyle from Hotel Dusk is possessing somebody for some reason. You know what I mean? Like
deep pulls.
Who pulls a DS reference?
Yeah.
But there's 15 different Mega Mans. So like I just got Model X, and then there's tons of ones that I don't even know, or the Castlevania ones. There's 3 different Belmonts so far that I've seen. I got one from tapping your Toad amiibo.
Okay.
For Toad. And so the spirits can be leveled. Once you gain the primary ones, the spirits can be leveled up. You gain more money if you then dust them later. You can dust spirits.
Well, not only that, but you can they have arbitrary spirits that you can only get from quote unquote summoning them, but you have to take parts from other spirits to put them together. So the most obscure one I saw was there is a Paper Mario spirit, and to get it, you have to take Cutman and some cardboard spirit to make Paper Mario because he's cutting out the cardboard. It's ridiculous.
That's fantastic.
Just these hilarious little references.
Yeah. So if I go to the summon board right now, to summon, what's that mask that Link puts on where he's got the ultimate mask in Majora's Mask that gives him that huge sword that fires beams and stuff?
Oh, the Fierce
Deity mask. So you have to have Ultra Swords Core, Happy Mask Salesman's Core, 10 attack cores, and Deku Link. So if you have all those, you can turn them into...
You can summon
the master, Anyway, it's just it's an interesting system, and there's a lot of different ways to play it, and you don't have to if you don't want to. None of it's necessary.
That was one of the comments that I saw in praise of it, was that, the game has a lot of great stuff in it. It probably has something for everyone, as long as you're a fan of fighting games. And that the things that you don't like are very easy to just not interact with.
This spirit stuff made my head spin when I first saw it. And now I'm, 10 hours into adventure mode or whatever. And I can't put it down. I just want to keep getting more spirits to see what they are.
Yeah, it's so fun just seeing the references.
Yeah.
On who the character you're fighting. And it's
crazy the amount of thought they put into this too, because along the map as well, you start to unlock things to do, like shops where you can buy more spirits, or you can send your spirits to dojos to train them in making their attack better but their defense worse, or their defense better but their attack worse. Things like that. There's also busy work for your spirits to do, much like that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic RPG had with your companions. You could send your companions on missions to go get you things. Well, in this, you can do the same thing. I've got, 50 primary spirits. I don't need 50 primary spirits. I need 4 for fighting in the combats, right? So you can send them off to go get you items and come back with them, and they level, and they do, it's like they thought about oh, well, they're just going to get bored if they have 150 spirits and nothing to do with them.
Well, and then, so 2 things. One, then there's the trait board you get where it's like a full RPG sphere grid that you can go around and put traits into.
Oh yeah, that too. We'll talk about that in a second.
But then, I mean, one of the other fun parts is this map it's a giant map. And remind me to spoil something for you in a little bit. But giant map, but each little section of the map is themed based off characters. So you end up in a pack maze at one point.
I went into
and you have to go through. And then one of my favorites so far is that you go to take a boat up to an island where you get on a plane, and then it's like Street Fighter World Tour, and you literally fly around to different countries to face the characters like you would in the Street Fighter single player game, single player mode. It's ridiculous.
There's this little base that you have to, and one of the interesting things about the map is that you can't go places. There's a lot of stuff you can't do until you randomly find the one spirit that can unlock it for you. Okay. So
yeah, so there's rocks in your path that you need Gutsman to break.
Or I needed to have let's see what the spirit's name was, because I have it open, so I might as well figure out who it was, right? Hal Emmerich from Metal Gear Solid. I had to have Hal
to get into
the Metal Gear Solid base area, right? He's the only one that could unlock it.
Right.
So there's a lot of that kind of weird stuff. And I wonder that translates to some of the battles, too. I want to ask you, Ryan, about a battle that I can't get by. But one other thing I was going to say is these little busy work things, right? I don't want to boot up the game every 2 hours to tell my dudes. I don't want to play World of Light right now. I don't want to go into there and like load it up and then have to go into. Well, you don't have to do that. You drill down twice into the spirits menu. You don't even have to go into World of Light, and right there they have all the busy work stuff. You can just do your stuff with your spirits without even loading the game up. It's crazy. They thought of everything. It's great. Spirit stuff really took me by surprise. I did not think I was going to like it this much, because in the end, it's like has no bearing on actual Smash.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't think you'd have this much fun playing single player for as long as you have in a Smash game.
Never in my wildest dreams. Some of the spirit battles are kind of hard.
Yeah, I can tell you which one was the most difficult for me and how I cheesed it.
Okay, so sometimes you have to figure out how to cheese it. Like, I don't have immunity to electric floors yet as one of my spirits.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to do a fight against somebody on an electric floor. So
yep.
They give you a way to win, which is fight off the dude for a little while, and then guns start raining from the sky. So you can just stand by and eventually shoot the other character to death and then throw the item at them and bounce them off the screen, right? But you have to kind of play each battle sometimes and figure out, well, I can't win this unless I get immunity to this or find out what the key is to this. And sometimes there is no key, and you just have to get lucky. Like,
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get good.
Yeah, I was playing a fight against Sheik and 2 villagers. By the way, the Lloyd villager attack is maybe the most annoying thing in the game, where he shoots that little rocket at you.
Yeah.
And it almost undodgeable. I mean, it's dodgeable and you can attack it and it blows up. But when there are 3 villagers on the screen and Sheik has you pinned down throwing knives at you.
Yeah, some of them just overwhelm you with, like, you have to fight like 5 characters at once that are all spamming a certain move thematically, and it gets ridiculous.
Yeah. You want to talk about annoying fights? Fight 3 Jigglypuffs that are all putting you to sleep.
But that one was so easy. All you had to do was have a sleep immunity
really?
spirit.
Cool. Yeah. What if you haven't run into one of those yet? It took a while for me to realize, like, you're not supposed to be able to just clear the map straight away, right? You can't, I'm just going to go this way, and every spirit in my path I will be able to beat because it's linear. At a certain point, you just have to start leaving spirits behind and come back to them later.
Right. Yeah. A lot of them are positioned in ways so that there's more than one direction to approach them. So you can get around a different direction, so you're not necessarily stuck if you can't beat it.
My most annoying fight so far is with unlocking the Switch to tell you the character's name, because I don't actually know it. Such good radio. Much wow. Sheriff. The support, I guess he's a support spirit. The Sheriff, he's like an 8-bit.
Is it the 9-volt and whatever guy?
Yes. 9-volt and 8-volt, yep. Where you have Incineroar,
yes.
Somebody else. No, 9-volt and 8-volt is...
Isn't that the one that has the Sheriff
and the
trophy?
Sheriff, yes, the Sheriff
top?
trophy at the top. Yeah. So there's also...
Yeah.
Explain this to me, because I don't understand this. There's also assist trophies in the game.
Assist trophies are just another item like Pokeballs, basically, where you get them and it summons a character that wasn't good enough to make the cut.
And they just attack randomly.
Yep.
They're extremely strong.
And they specifically made it in this version of the game so that they can the majority can be attacked and interacted with also. In the past, they were just on the playing field and couldn't be attacked. But this time you can hit them.
I'm staring at my spirits, thinking I really want Hotel Dusk on the Switch now, because it's not.
The trick for that one is you get a support spirit that does extra damage against assist trophies, and you get a metal spirit. So you start off the battle as metal, so you just ignore the sheriff at all and just kill him instantly.
Oh, okay.
And then the fight's easy.
Come back to it with more spirits. I see.
Right, exactly. I mean, I had to do that with a few.
Yeah, there's definitely no way to beat it. Like, I have the one that does extra damage, but I can't get to him, right? Because he shoots in every direction. Plus, you're fighting 2 other characters, and you get bounced off the map. There's just no way to win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one's
that is tough. Maybe the toughest fight so far. It blew my mind that fight was the toughest, and so I went back and I started fighting like level 4 spirits, and I'm like, oh, I can actually win these fights. I must have gotten better at this game since I started playing.
Yeah, for my general strategy has been like the main character I've been using is Marth.
Yeah, same.
Just so I can abuse his tipper to kill people faster.
No, the best thing to do, by the way, is Michael. We mentioned there is the also skills board. So your character, not only do you interact and change what you're good at with spirits, but there's also skills, and some of the skills are some of the things that spirits do, like make you lava immune, or neutral attacks do more damage, or smash attacks do more damage, or you can run faster or stop quicker. And these are equipped all the time. I'm going to tell you what I think is the most unfair one. Hold smash indefinitely is the most unfair one that you should buy right away.
Yeah.
Say when?
Yeah, so you know how a smash attack works, right? Like, eventually, if you hold the smash too long, it auto attacks.
Right.
Or you can just get the skill that lets you hold smash indefinitely, fling the dudes off the edge with Marth because you smash so easily with that character, and then just sit there and wait for them to come back and smash them.
Cheese.
Sometimes it's the only way to win.
with how good the story mode is, or adventure mode, the only regret I have is that Square refused to play ball with this game.
Oh, it would have been so good with so many Square characters.
There's so many third-party spirits in the game. It's crazy, but Square only gave them the rights to 2 Final Fantasy songs still.
That's a shame.
You know what?
And that's
Maybe the 5 fighters, there's Sora's in there, but it's no more. Or you know what? There's no more Square characters in there. It's 4 other fighters, and then we get a Square pack.
I mean, I could see Square holding out.
Square says, "Okay, that game's doing really well. Yeah. We're coming back to the table. We want a Square pack. You get 5 fighters from Square, plus 500 assist trophies from Square, plus music. But we want half and half or something, from the DLC."
Yeah, I easily see them having spirits, at least on the spirit board, for all of the DLC characters.
I would lose my mind. I would buy that faster than I bought this fighter pack.
Like, I bet you're going to get like a bunch of Persona spirits now on the spirit board showing up once you buy that pack.
You think so? They didn't say they were adding spirits, did they?
Yeah, they didn't say it, but that's so easy to do.
Oh my god, there's already 1,300 of them.
I guarantee you that happens.
So, Michael, you also keep a list of the ones you've gotten. So even if you dust them later to get other ones, it's really a Pokemon system,
Oh wait, you keep them if you dust them?
You keep them on the list, yeah, buddy.
Oh man, I've been holding out on summoning stronger ones because I didn't want to dust. I wanted one of everyone.
You mean you can't use them anymore?
Right. But I just wanted the picture still.
Let me just confirm this. I'll dust one for you right now. Because I dusted one I got a second one of. We're doing something live on air.
Well, if you still have one, it's not going to work.
What? No, that's what I was saying. I dusted a one that I had a second one of. But the way I understand how this works is that if you dust them, they are still
a solo copy.
They are still on the list. They're not in the spirit collection, but they're on the list.
Right, the master list as well. Okay.
Well, why don't I get rid of... I'm never going to use Deku Link. Okay, fine. I won't get rid of Deku Link. No, you screwed it up, man. Now I have to go... Well, I can't dust Hotel Dusk guy.
I already have 2 of him.
Okay. Who's this? Dan? Dan doesn't need to be here. Dan from Street Fighter, I think. All right. Dan from Street Fighter. Goodbye. Are you sure you want to dismiss?
We're gonna miss Dan.
He's a level 1. He's a 1-star. I don't need him. All right. I'm going back into my inventory. Spirit list. Primaries. It would help if I remember what day. Yeah, Dan's still here.
Whew, okay. Well, this is great. I'm gonna make a bunch of strong spirits after this.
Mind blown.
Yeah. They're in your collection under inventory spirit list, but they are no longer
this is great news
in the team list because you can't use them anymore. So it's like Pokemon. Like I said, you're going to get a bunch of them that are 1-star that you're going to eventually just use for cannon fodder because who cares? I miss the 3D models a little bit. You only get like a flat picture when you click on them in the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's the spirits or the trophies were really nice back in the day to go through and look at them, but I get how long they take, and when you think about how long they take to render, and like most of those are new models for trophies and stuff, how much do people actually look at those, right?
Other than you first get them, you pull up the menu, you spin them around, and then...
Yeah.
Right.
They are beautiful, but
like,
I guess we see the point. Wow. I'm afraid to play any other games on Switch because 2 for 2 on the games I've tried on Switch on just being completely in love. And I know it's partially the system and the fact that I carry it upstairs and I go to bed a lot earlier because I take it to bed and then fall asleep.
Yep. Every time you undock it, you understand the magic of the system.
Oh my god. Now, have you been playing docked or undocked?
I've been playing exclusively docked. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to undock for Smash.
It's kind of hard to see undocked sometimes, the characters a little bit. Especially when the screen gets small because there's 9 million of them on the screen. Like,
when you play on a big level too.
A big level with 15 Game & Watches attacking you at once. It can get a little difficult to see where you are and what you're doing and which way you're facing.
Okay, I feel like we've reached an appropriate level now for me to blow your mind, okay?
Okay, Michael, do you care if there's a spoiler for Smash?
No, let's hear it.
All right.
It's a very small adventure mode spoiler, but I just wanted to get it out there so I could just effectively blow your mind. That is not the only map.
Well, yeah, because you move into different areas, right? Up and down, left and right.
No. That entire picture you see, that is not the only map.
Are you saying there's another picture this big, this map size?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How did they make such a big game inside of another game?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Wow. I don't understand if this system doesn't come out of the holiday season with doing gangbusters. I won't understand it.
Well, I think I saw that they already shattered Smash sales records in Japan.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, like everywhere. I think the only numbers I saw were UK and Japan, but both were like best in the system, best Smash and franchise wise, and best system wise for the Switch.
Yeah.
I'm suitably impressed, man. I could not have imagined myself being impressed. I thought I would like it, and that I would have it to play with friends when they wanted to play it. That's what I thought was going to happen.
The only thing that needs to get fixed is the online play, and then we're perfect.
What needs to be fixed about the online play?
From everything I'm seeing, it's just still a garbage mess. They have the matchmaking system now is you set a preferred rule set. So, I want a 1v1 match with 3 stock in, 6 minutes or something reasonable. And then you get pulled into a 4-player match and can't leave.
Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
So, once that's sorted out.
Okay. So they need to...
That and there's small tweaks, like if you care a bunch about competitive, technically it has the biggest input delay of any Smash game, but it's not like massive.
Now, what controller are you using?
The GameCube controller.
Really?
Yeah. The data has shown that the GameCube controller plugged into like the front ports and the Pro Controller wireless are basically about the same input lag.
Really?
Huh, okay.
That's shocking to me that the wireless Pro Controller...
Well, no, my favorite part is that wired Pro Controller is the worst.
That makes some sense because it's not actually supposed to be wired.
Well, yeah, and it's running through the dock to the Switch then, so it has that extra delay. But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Right. Okay. So how does the GameCube adapter work?
Same way it did on the Wii U. Just it has 2 USB ports, which you plug into like the side of the Switch dock.
I'm smashed out because I want to go play more Smash. I'm shocked, man.
You couldn't even get away with it during the podcast. You had to keep going.
Look, I showed up and I couldn't navigate through the menus without beating him.
Can't back down from a fight.
Yeah. No, it's so good. It's really good. Congratulations, Nintendo. If people have other thoughts about Smash, where would they go, Michael?
They can email us if they can put their Switch down for long enough at podcast@weweregamers.com.
Maybe they need to add an email client into Smash.
Oh, there you go. Where they can snap some pictures and send them directly.
Yeah. Take your screenshots and send them to us.
Yeah, you can also find us on Facebook, on the Twitters, and on Insta. All at We Were Gamers.
We use some of those.
Yeah. And you can catch us on your favorite podcast app of choice.
Reminder, JJ will be back with us in the new year. Ryan will probably be nose down in Switch for the rest of the year, so...
Smash
by which you mean the year 2019?
The year 2019, exactly. Yes. I was unclear.
Catch me at EVO 2019.
Yeah, right. You go to EVO 2019, we'll go with you and we'll record.
Ooh, okay, let's do this.
Uh-oh. What have I done? Michael, I don't know.
Andy.
I don't know with JJ gone if you need to rant. Is it a short rant or a long rant?
I don't have anything to rant about this week.
Okay.
First week of the playoffs, and I pulled the upset.
Nice. Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, everything kind of came up Millhouse.
Congratulations.
So
this is our little fantasy football segment at the end here, Ryan. You're blessed with listening to it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, where does Incineroar rate?
He's a good running back.
He keeps sharking all of Andy's waiver picks.
He does. Oh my god. I really don't like that waiver system. I guess you could make the claim that that's the way it's always been, so you need to make plans 2 weeks ahead instead of 1 week ahead, right?
Yeah.
But it's still like if then they make 2 weeks, there's an advantage to losing, and that's weird. There shouldn't be. But sometimes people have bad weeks. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I managed to get back to my original floor, which is pretty good. And so when people have bad weeks and Odell Beckham doesn't start randomly, Greg Zuerlein kicks you to victory.
Greg the leg.
So on to playoffs round 2.
Yeah.